but they just were not taught. They were not looked at. They were not, and I was was just writing my Emily Dickinson and I was just shocked when I began to carefully look at what was in the Franklin facsimiles, which the line breaks were I just don't want to go on about it because I've become a complete bore. But just to tell you that her line breaks were not, increasingly became more and more not what you see in the genre. And I admire those editions. And frankly, the Thomas Johnson edition is what I think of when I think of Emily Dickinson and those dashes. And I'm not saying that there was an answer by just breaking the lines this new way, the way she did, that would answer the problem, because we do not know what her final intentions were. The whole idea of final intentions goes out the window with Emily Dickinson. But what was erased was her variants, dashes that were different. But first of all, I was most disturbed by the difference in line breaks. But as you go on and on, as she goes on, the work, the barriers break down between what is a letter, what is a poem, and I believe what is a visual production on the page that opens to the deepest mystery of writing, which is, to me, that sound and sight are inextricably and mysteriously bound, and that every mark on paper is an acoustic mark. And that, there was endless books came out about Emily Dickinson, and this is the angry 80s, the 90s, and feminism, but nobody, they weren't paying attention to the thing. I think there was a lot of, it was so hard to get Emily Dickinson even kind of considered seriously in academia that it was like, if you really, it would all become sand and melt away if you really, really looked at what was really there. But anyway, the internet has changed everything. I won't go into my hatred of Harvard. And there was a war between the Dickinson, the unfortunate things that happened with her papers were that Harvard got the Fascals, got a certain amount because of the war in the family. There was a huge war in the family. And Amherst got Mabel Loomis Todd, who was her first editor's papers, or the Dickinson material. And Harvard got the Dickinson family, the Gilbert, all went to Harvard. So there was this split, and Harvard was very closed about access and had the Harvard University Press has the complete control, or did. I don't know what's happened by now, but it had total control of publishing. If you wanted to write a dissertation on Emily Dickinson, or if you were going to teach Emily Dickinson, there were old little books that had fallen out of copyright, Higginson's version. But if you wanted to do the real, be taken seriously, you had to consult. Harvard was in control. Amherst had to go through Harvard for the public. So Harvard controlled the picture of Dickinson and the copyright, and it was into control. And at the time, Thomas H. Johnson did heroic work. It was all, and obviously Ralph Franklin did heroic work in collecting this mysterious piles of material, and tracking down letters was done by these people, but it was done in the age of new criticism, when T.S. Eliot was in the ascendancy, and anyway. you couldn't do anything without the permission of Harvard, really. I mean, and you have to realize that both Robert Frost and Emily Dickinson were the big money makers they made a lot of money off of their editions. And as the Thomas Johnson edition was about to disappear, run out of copyright, because it was done in the 50s, it was about to run out of copyright, then the Ralph Franklin edition assumed control. So this woman's work was in the hands, basically, of two male editors, which I found disturbing. But that's just one problem that was disturbing, because nobody else noticed. Anyway, so it just was to get this to happen finally, it really has been, since 86. Marta Werner was a graduate student of mine, and she kind of shared my mania, and she did the work of scholarship, and she's the one who worked with Amherst and put and also the woman Martha Nell Smith was another. It gradually became a collective of women who were working on the editing problem more, and some men. But anyway, it took a long time for something like this to happen, and I just kept saying, if they would just show some of her work, it should be shown in like the drawing center, where finally it happened. It was like a miracle. It's years and years to have that happen. And so Christine and Barbara, and that New Directions did this to me, considering the tradition that I believe in, the New Directions tradition, that they did these books, is wonderful. I don't know. I thought I'd tell you one amusing thing, is that it isn't that she, they're not only, we see the envelope poems, but there's endless, bits and pieces and scraps. And the thing that this book was crucial to me, that Ralph Franklin brought out the 3 master letters in an edition where he broke the line. He did the transcription, and then he made the lines. He broke the lines anyway. This was prose. He said, I wrote to him about it, saying this is just so wonderful to see this, but what about the poem? He believes that the form of the poem is the stanza, and he will not, he can break lines in prose, but not in poetry. So this book I could have a lot of arguments with this book, but nevertheless, finally you saw the transcriptions, and but the thing that annoyed me particularly about the book was that he supplied an envelope, and the 3 master letters did not necessarily come together in an envelope. And there was something about Franklin neatly putting the 3 master letters in an envelope together that really annoyed me. And so now I think it's just highly ironic. Finally, when the right thing happens, it's called the envelope poems. And the envelope, it's just a wonderful, wonderful idea. And one of the, to me, the incredible miracles of Dickinson is, how could she have sent this stuff in letters, just sent it off? Who knew lines that you would kill to write? Just Shakespeare, just off. they could be thrown away. They might. I just can't. That is beyond. That's the great miracle to me of her. That she didn't. I mean, she cared about an audience, because obviously there's an audience when you send a letter, or you know, she did save her and sew together her manuscripts, but there's some mystic, holy gesture of tossing it all that is of that. And you know, I've gone. I mean, really, I'm very old now, and enough with Emily Dickinson with me, in a way, for several years, but I've just been working, slaving over some introduction, and then I was told I should come here. And I went back, and I opened Emily Dickinson again, and I thought, oh my God, every page I look at here, there's some incredible. It's unbelievable. She's so good, great. But I mean, it is. I don't know. It's a miracle. So now I've blabbed on. So what do you want? I mean, I brought in a few small little poems. I could read one of the master letter, a couple of, or you could ask me some questions.
Read a master letter.
Oh God. Okay, I'll read a master. But it's sort of longish. I'm a little ashamed, but they're so incredible. This is which one am I going to do? Okay, I got this one on. No, wait. No, it's this one. Where is it? God, I've got Dear Master. How did I find it? I'm looking for if you would. Okay. This is the lines are just so. Okay. Master, and we don't know who these or why, or were they written to anybody, or were they influenced by. I have a feeling that on some level, I think she used Charlotte Bronte a lot in this letter, but I think. It's a crisis point in her life when she realizes what she's got in her, and they may be a kind of conversion narrative of sorts. But love must have done some. I mean, they're definitely whatever. We don't know. Okay. Master. If it's because they did, each letter was master. That's the one thing they. Master, if you saw a bullet hit a bird and he told you he wasn't shot, you might weep at his courtesy, but you would certainly doubt his word. One drop more from the gash that stains your daisy's bosom, then would you believe? Thomas' faith in anatomy was stronger than his faith in faith. God made me, sir, master. I didn't be myself. I don't know how it was done. He built the heart in me. By and by it outgrew me. And like the little mother with the big child, I got tired holding him. I heard of a thing called redemption, which rested men and women. You remember I asked you for it. You gave me something else. I forgot the redemption in the redeemed. I didn't tell you for a long time, but I knew you had altered me, and was tired no more. So dear did this stranger become, that were it or my breath the alternative, I had tossed the fellow away with a smile. I am older tonight, master, but the love is the same. So are the moon and the crescent. If it had been God's will that I might breathe where you breathed, and find the place myself at night. If I can never forget that I am not with you and that sorrow and frost are nearer than I. If I wish with a might I cannot repress that mine were the queen's place, The love of the Plantagenet is my only apology. To come nearer than presbyteries, and nearer than the new coat that the tailor made. The prank of the heart at play on the heart in holy holiday is forbidden me. You make me say it over. I fear you laugh when I do not see, but Chillon is not funny. Have you the heart in your breast, sir? Is it set like mine, a little to the left? Has it the misgiving, if it wake in the night, perchance itself to it? A timbrel is it, itself to it, a tune? These things are reverend, holy sir. I touch them reverently, hallowed. But persons who pray dare remark our Father. You say I do not tell you all. Daisy confessed and denied not. Vesuvius don't talk. Etna don't. They said a syllable, one of them, 1,000 years ago, and Pompey heard it and hid forever. She couldn't look the world in the face afterward, I suppose. Bashful Pompey. Tell you of the want. You know what a leech is, don't you? And remember that Daisy's arm is small. And you have felt the horizon, haven't you? And did the sea never come so close as to make you dance? I don't know what you can do for it. Thank you, master. But if I had the beard on my cheek like you, and you had Daisy's petals, and you cared so for me, what would become of you? Could you forget me in fight or flight or the foreign land? Couldn't Carlo and you and I walk in the meadows an hour and nobody care but the bobolink and his a silver scruple? I used to think when I died I could see you, so I died as fast as I could. But the corporation are going too, so eternity, heaven, won't be sequestered at all now. Say I may wait for you. Say I need go with no stranger to me, untried country fold. I waited a long time, master, but I can wait more. Wait till my hazel hair is dappled and you carry the cane, and I can look at my watch, and if the day is too far declined, we can take the chances of, for, heaven. What would you do with me if I came in white? Have you the little chest to put the alive in? I want to see you more, sir, than all I wish for in this world. And the wish, altered a little, will be my only one for the skies. Could you come to New England this summer? Would you come to Amherst? Would you like to come, master? Would it do harm? Yet we both fear God. Would Daisy disappoint you? No, she wouldn't, sir. It were comfort forever, just to look in your face while you looked in mine. Then I could play in the woods till dark, till you take me where sundown cannot find us, and the true keep coming till the town is full. Will you tell me, if you will? I didn't think to tell you. You didn't come to me in white, nor ever told me why. No rose, yet felt myself a bloom. No bird, yet rode in ether. Yes, that one. I got a letter that she wrote to T.W. Higginson after she had sent him his work. Do you want me to read, or is that enough?
Yes,
I mean, this is much.
Yeah.
She had sent her his work. I don't have I didn't read the first letter. which is incredible. And then he'd sent her a terrific. It is true about Higginson that he saved her letters, and he thought she was outstanding. He didn't reject her. He was a well-known publisher. This was her gesture out to the world, and he took her in a way. But this is 7 June 1862, and it's about the same period as the master letter. Dear friend, your letter gave no drunkenness because I tasted rum before. Domingo comes but once, yet I have had few pleasures so deep as your opinion, and if I tried to thank you, my tears would block my tongue. My dying tutor told me that he would like to live till I had been a poet, but death was much of a mob, as I could master then. And when afterward a sudden light on orchards or a new fashion in the wind troubled my attention, I felt a palsy here, the verses just relieved. Your second letter surprised me, and for a moment swung. I had not supposed it. Your first gave no dishonor because the true were not ashamed. I thanked you for your justice, but could not drop the bells whose jingling cooled my tramp. Perhaps the bomb seemed better because you bled me first. This is one of the great lines to me ever. I smile when you suggest that I delay to publish, that being foreign to my thought as firmament to fin. Can you imagine? Coming up, come on. I smile, if fame belonged to me, I could not escape her. If she did not, the longest day would pass me on the chase, and the approbation of my dog would forsake me then. My barefoot rank is better. You think my gait spasmodic. I am in danger, sir. You think me uncontrolled. I have no tribunal. Would you have time to be the friend you should think I need? I have a little shape. It would not crowd your desk, nor make much racket as the mouse that dents your galleries. If I might bring you what I do, not so frequent to trouble you, and ask you if I told it clear, 'twould be control to me. It's another great line coming. The sailor cannot see the north, but knows the needle can. The hand you stretch me in the dark, I put mine in and turn away. I have no Saxon now. As if I asked a common alms, as she goes right into poetry, and in my wondering hand a stranger pressed a kingdom, and I bewildered stand. As if I asked the Orient, had it for me a morn, and it should lift its purple dikes and shatter me with dawn. But will you be my preceptor, Mr. Higginson, your friend, E. Dickinson?